Hey everybody, it's Neil here from Post to Post. It's the first time I'm making a video in the new location. If you haven't been following along the last couple of videos, I am in the process of moving. So the last, 3 weeks have been a bit awkward in terms of what's in the background and audio quality and stuff. And I'm not actually sure how this one's going to sound. This is kind of the test video. So I appreciate your patience as always as I film a bunch of videos here in the new location. Might be temporary, might be long-term. We're not quite sure yet, but we're here to talk about the PWHL logos and team names. We've talked about them as they were released, but I want to rank them in terms of logos and names separately. So there's going to be two rankings in this video. We're going to do logos first, and if you've watched that original video, you've already known my general thoughts on all of the logos, or my in-depth thoughts rather, and I'll just going to go through these rankings pretty quickly. This is not going to be a long video. So I've sat on these for a couple of days, and I think that my ranking has kind of changed a little bit in the last couple of days. As I originally had these ranked, I went back and I decided to change things a little bit. So anyways, the logos, I'll go worst to best in my opinion. So the worst is the Ottawa Charge. I just think that this is way too close to the Calgary Flames, way too close to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You could have done so much more with the word charge, the name charge, to translate that into a logo. I think that there's just a really big missed opportunity. I like the colors, but that's pretty much it. In fifth position, I put the Sirens. I would have rather seen them go maybe like the mythical direction of a siren. If you don't know what that is, it's like I was going to say Lady of the Water, but that's kind of a mermaid. That's not what I mean. Just look up Siren of the Ocean, basically, or whatever. It's like a mythical creature, essentially. And I just feel like that would be I understand what that means in terms of the PWHL, and it's a women's league, but this logo itself, it just doesn't do much for me. I think you need to have some kind of color separation, stage gradient, or something with the outside of the S's. So I don't know. It's a bit of a tricky name, bit of a tricky logo for sure. Number 4, I put the Toronto Scepters. I think it's too tall. I love the colors. I like how simplistic it is, but it's too tall for me. I think it's going to look awkward on a jersey, and I just like something a little bit more. It's slightly boring. Number 3, I put the Minnesota Frost. I really like this a lot, actually. There's not anything I'd technically change about it. It is maybe a little bit too italicized, but other than that, I mean, it's really, really good. I love the dimensions of it, and I really like the colors. Number 2, I put the Boston Fleet, and the only reason that this isn't number 1 is because it's quite close to the Hartford Whalers logo, and we talked before that it's not the Hartford Whalers logo just turned on its side. There are definitely differences, but it's still close, right? I love the fact that it makes up the B. That's really cool. I like that there are the anchors in there. The waves are definitely neat. They look a little bit like spaghetti, but yeah, it's pretty good. I really like it. And then number 1, I just think it's executed very, very well in terms, like, it's symmetrical. It's like very classic, but kind of modern at the same time. It's got a very interesting shape and patterns inside. The colors are fantastic. So it's really, really good. I like it a lot. I think they did a fantastic job on that. In terms of the team names, I'll just bring up the logos again, just so you guys can see. But in 6th place, I put the Boston Fleet. I really don't like that name. It's Boston. It's one of the most iconic sports cities in the world. And I just think that there's so many other names you could have gone with other than Fleet. To me, that's one of the worst options. So I don't like that at all. Not a fan of it. In 5th position, I put the Scepters, the Toronto Scepters. I don't like that team name either for basically the exact same reason. It's Toronto. You're telling me that Scepters is the best name that you can come up with? I just think that there's way better options. It's a weird name for me. Number 4, the Charge. So although I hate the logo, and it is, I think, by far the worst logo, the name Charge is pretty decent. You could think about a phone charge or whatever. But the word charge combined with a good logo, if it was a guy on a horse, ready to go to war or something like that, you're not going to think about a phone charging. You're going to think about charging into battle, into war. And that's where the logo and name integration are so important, and I think this completely missed the ball here. Charge is a good name. The logo is a complete miss, and it ruins the name almost. Number 3, I put the Sirens. I think that this is an awkward name, but you could still do something with it, kind of like I said with the logo. I think with a different logo, the name would be better. But in terms of just the name, it's an average, decent name. Number 2, I put the Victoire. So this name obviously is like victory, essentially, in English, and has its own French version. I was kind of hoping, honestly, that maybe they dip back into the the hockey history within Montreal in terms of like the Canadians. So whether it was the Maroons, I thought that would be a really cool name, the Montreal Maroons, just kind of bring that back. Obviously, the Canadians are never going to change back to the Maroons or use that. So I thought that would be kind of cool. And also because of the colors, like they're literally using maroon. So maybe a different name, but still it's a pretty cool name. I like what it means, I like what it stands for. And first, the Frost. I think this is a pretty cool name. I think there are I think there are better kind of frozen, wintry, cold names that you could have used other than Frost. But Frost is still pretty decent. It's easy to say. It's short. If you wanted to make a jersey that just had Frost on it, it's not like a Pittsburgh or something super long. So you could still kind of do that with the jersey. So it's a short name and it's it's decent. There's nothing really wrong with it. So that's kind of my ranking. I guess in terms of the team that did the worst overall on average, it might be Ottawa or Toronto. And I think the team that did the best was Montreal or Minnesota. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on everything. Let me know down below in the comment section how you would rank the logos, how you would rank the team names, and what team names or logos you would like to see changed immediately if you were in charge. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And once again, I appreciate your patience as I go through this transition, figuring out the background. Like I don't even have any lights in the background. I think I have one light back there. I got to finish setting this place up. So I'm leaving for some travels here upcoming. I'll be filming a lot of videos, so I really, really appreciate your patience, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Adios.